right now. Okay, hello guys. I'm Minh Le here and welcome to another video of Speedrun. So as you know, we are playing one game of 10 minutes plus 0-second increment, right? In rapid. And then I will try to explain my thinking process during the game. You can feel free to ask questions and you can feel free to tell me to slow it down if I speak too fast, isn't it? And I will try my best to ask, if give question to you guys to make sure we all enjoy things from the game, right? So let's go. So we met a guy from Saudi Arabia, 1168. So e4, I think we have played Karo Khan many times. I think like 2 or 3 times. I think in this whole series. Let's time to something different and play c5. Knight f3. I could have played my Nimzovich Sicilian here, but I guess I will play that later on to explain you in depth. So for today, I will simply go for the, I don't know, I think I would go for the Naidorf d6. Takes. Knight d4. This is also playable as well. Let's see what I want to do. Even c3 is also playable too. Knight d4, knight f6. Okay, it's main line. Open Sicilian. Yes, it is. And now I will play a6. I can play plenty of things here, like this, but I will opt for the main variation of Naidorf. White can play plenty of things as well. Bishop e3, bishop e2, f3, e4. This is also available as well. Bishop e3. So the idea here is to defend a pawn and try the castles. Here, I think this is one of the main line of the Naidorf variation. The idea of white is very simple: defend a pawn and hit castles here. So Light can play various things. He can turn the game into strategy coup by playing e6. He can play e5 as well to turn the game into some kind of normal industrial variation. But here, again, I will go for one of the main line to play, and I think the easiest, g6. e5 is playable for sure. e5 is definitely playable. Like e5, knight e2, like here, right here, knight e2, bishop e7, castles here, and plenty other things. But I will play something I think is easy enough. Bishop e7, okay. Just simply trying to get to the bishop and put pressure on his center to g5. Interesting. His way of playing is pretty rare. Normally, he plays like castles of bishop e3 instead. This one is somewhat rarer. I will just play here first. Start putting pressure on the center and try to have some more space. Well, I think you want to take pawn here, right? But take pawn here is not a good thing to do, since you can just take a bishop and the knight is covered, right? So you can't go for that topics. Castles. I don't know. Now I think it's not so clear. Okay, he played e5. Wow, this is interesting. I don't even know if you want to go for something here or here. In fact, castling is an easy move to play fast. But you can also play 97 too as well earlier. But now I play castles, trying to make my king safe, play e5. Which made the game now become very interesting, guys. He want to play queen c6. Which I think I have no other choice. Check, okay. Well, this is rare in my opinion, you know. I think this is playable one. Wise ideas, I think it's somewhat like a mixed thing. I think he will castle short earlier, but okay, now he castles long, you know. So I think it makes it a very interesting game to learn. So one thing you all know as well, right? That when you castles on different side, the way to do is trying to attack as fast as you can, isn't it? So for the Sicilian, that is even more important to know it. Queen a5. My queen now get out of the pin. Also, I want to put pressure on his pieces here in the b file, and I want to play here as well too. And moreover, have ideas to go for queen to g5 this way. Now, as you can see here, right, e4 can be a threat. Queen b4 can be a threat. I can also play slower and play here and go here, or even here as well. White is still okay, in fact. We must be careful. Rook e1. So now the game is, I think, will be extremely interesting. So guys, just for the content, for the lessons, time to do it. e4. The way to do is open up the portion. No. I mean here, what can to defend? I will mention later on how can you defend, but it is not lost at all. But here, I think this is getting super dangerous. This is the threat. He must take your first, right? The idea here to do is to open up the bishop on g7, which look directly in his king side. I can tell you that I see some big problem for him. Yes, it's pretty sad. He didn't see my main idea here, right? It is a discover attack, which sadly he missed that, so now I have no choice but to do it. I will try to explain what happened if he did go for the best way to play later on, but sadly he missed that. So I need to go for the piece. King b1. So now it's just a work to convert, right? We have plenty of ways to do so. If you are lazy, you can surely consider take on g2. But when you are up material, you know, I will not recommend you to take more material. I play queen e5. Centralize my queen and put pressure on this diagonal. The fun thing here is that take here now is still impossible due to this discover checks, but I can play like here or plenty of things next. Now the only way to play is this bishop b3 move. Rook d2. So, you just see me earlier, right? I cannot take this right away due to this. This one here looks very good, right, due to the pin. But then he got this one here, and I can't do that since I will lose the queen on c3. So here I will do something different. I will try to win material but different way. I'll play this one first. The plan is to kick the queen away from c6, which made the knight here now officially hanging. Rook d7 just takes, and queen here, queen c3 is over completely. I think now it's already over. Queen c3 looks like something he cannot stop, and with that the game's gone. Okay, he played queen d7. So here you have two choices, both winning completely, but I will try to do something to make it fun for the audience. The simplest way to win and go for mate here is queen c3, guys. This is the simplest way to go for mate. I knew it. But deep inside your heart, I know people sometimes love something beautiful and fun, right? That's why I will do it for the audience. Just please understand from me that it's just for the content. This one is very strong and can finish the game right away. But okay, for audience, If I play here earlier, it won't work that way. I made a mouse. I made a pre-move, but okay, let's go here again. Here can be 2, right? And then you still need to take here as well later on. So take here first is easier, right? Here. Even if it doesn't take rook here, I mean here, right? Okay, where? So king c1, right? It's queen c3, and then I can have plenty of threats, and it's over as well. Queen e1, and guys, now it's very simple. How can you go for the win for black? Black has many ways to win here. So what will you do? Apparently, the idea here is to deflect the king, right? Deflect the king. Bishop b2 is the most natural way. But I guess I will try to do something that doesn't lose material. So you can see, right? Now, my idea still works without losing any kind of material. Why not? King b2, win the queen. King b1, win the queen. And he resign. Obviously, if you play f4, we can just play in crescent. You can in crescent and then the queen will still be gone. Okay, so GG's. Sorry for the game as well. I think you will get your rating refunded later on. Thank you for that. Okay, so now let's go to the game review, which I think we have plenty of things to talk and to ask you guys in these variations. In this particular game, to be honest. So I will analyze the game here. I think the game analyze will be pretty long, so no worries. Okay, where's my game? Here it is. So this is the way to analyze the game. So in this game, we play the open Sicilian, right? Obviously, I can play plenty of things like here, this, even this one, you know. Even this one b3 is fine as well. But he went for the main line instead. d4 takes. Here he can play 2 moves. This is the main variation he played in the game. He can also play here as well too. I think the main line is, this is called the shakeover variation. And the main idea is like here, queen d2. And like here in the b3, bishop b2. Bishop b5 is also okay as well. Even queen d3 is fine. I think this is played by some strong players. I think I saw Grichuk use this line to beat MVL, right? If I was not mistaken, like queen d3. I think like, I think here so, right? Bishop e2 or whatever, like here and then castles, like that's d5. This is definitely playable stuff. In the game, he played knight d4. Knight f6. Here and here. So, as you know, white can play plenty of things at this point. One thing that I can tell you with Sicilian is that there are so many things. And you need to be ready with own kind of stuff. That's why if you are, I think, just a person who just learned chess, or who doesn't want to learn less opening, I wouldn't recommend you to do so. To learn this line, I can show you all the things what can do, right? I think white has around 11 ways. 11 ways to play here. Even more than that. I will show you some moves. 1, 2, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This is also available too. Also, knight b3, I think 15. Yes. 15 things is available. Even queen e2 can be played as well, you know. White can play so many kind of things. But the way to learn, I think, is just to know the ideas. Like, whatever he play, he only got 2 ways of doing it. castles long and castles short, right? If you castle short, what you will do? If you castle long, what you will do? It's a thing. So obviously this line seems to be so damn lots of thing, but you can try to limit it and can try to make it easier for you by learning in a smart way, just like me. Damn, that sounds so wrong. I'm so sorry for that. In the game, should d3 was play. So here the main line is e5, and we have the knight e2. So this is the main thing. Bishop e7, castles. I think so. Bishop here. Knight. I mean like f4 is available here is fine as well. Like castles and knight e5. This is the main one. So takes, and like here c4, this, and I think f4 or the case one. All available stuff, right? But in the game, I chose a different way of approaching, which I think was played by MVL earlier. I saw that g6. When I simply try to go for the castles short and go for the fianchetto. I am a dragon player. That's why I like this. But if you guys don't prefer the idea to fianchetto on g7, you can play e5 and obtain a very normal position as well. You understand me? In a game, so here h3, this bishop g5. For me, this is very rare. I think the idea here is like bishop to e3, you know, and I play castles, and play here or like even b5. But for me, when I play black in this kind of variation, I am always happy to have this kind of thing for black. Personally, when I see white castle short, I will happy, you know, since I don't think it will be very complex and complicated. e5 is not a shenanigan for sure. Okay, wait a second. Where is the positions here? So e5, I think is just called like an open Naidorf variation. You can also somewhat consider some kind of English setup, which refer to the main line up here, right? Here, this, and f3, which is called an English attack. That's why you can refer it to this line. In general, so shenanigan is to think with e6, like this way, you know? And like castles to play here, and here, and here, and here, and this is called shenanigan setups. In the game, this h3, h7, g5, let's play here right away. Put pressure on his knight on d4. He might play knight b3, he might play like knight f3, you know. But my play is just castles, b5, and trying to develop normally. You know what I mean? In the gameplay, take here and queen f3. In fact, after the game, and after what happened in the game, I realized that the simplest way you can play here is knight e7, which is a very typical idea in this type of position after the knight trade. As you can see now, bishop is fully open, right? Your knight control e5, control c5, and rook b8 can also be a strong plan. So normally black can be very happy with the outcome of the opening. You know what I mean? In the game, play castles here, it's okay. e5. So this one, I think it is a wrong thing to do. Takes here and rook b8. Somehow I feel like castles here will be very risky. It just put his king in trouble, right? And somehow not so easy to deal with. I think this one is gonna be a better way to play. But then I already planned bishop b7 in the game. Bishop b7. And if the queen a4 play here, right? Somehow, although I have a double pawn, but I have plenty of space in the queen side. I can play the bishop here later on, rook b2, rook c8 here, even like knight e5, and I think my position is very playable. In the game, castles here, and queen a5. As you can see, right? It is now getting very complex. And in fact, hard for him to play precisely. I think in the game here, I will play bishop c4, which I think is the best way to play. The idea is to push bishop b3. Somehow in the game, not only my opponent, but also people in general can underestimate black's attack and the rook on b8. That's why you see bishop on b3, it can cover the file, right? Which make it much more safer. You understand me? Obviously, feel free to have questions if you have, or if I'm speaking so fast. If you play like bishop c4, I may plan to play bishop b7, queen a4, right? Like I think it might be like here and win a pawn, which I think is also enough, isn't it? In the game, he played e1, and now it's asking for trouble. Basically e4 in the game. Open up the bishop, the queen, and now things are completely open. So starting from now, as I have questions to ask you, like some ideas that is important to know, something that I can tell you in this line need to be understood. First of all, now so this is the ideas, right? It's in the game. You can see in the game he play here, which drop the bishops. So the best way to play is this. So now you take on d3 or take on f6. What do you choose? Which way you want to take the material? I think it's not very tough though. Somehow you need to go for the attacker, right? And you need to try and find a way to keep on attacking. ED3 here will be a big mistake, which allow him not only to trade the strong bishop, but also now you run out of attacking material, right? Which makes things harder for you to make some kind of winning attempts. Here will also be wrong since it blocked your bishop, right? Which may seem to be somewhat unnatural. That's why the idea to do is to unleash the dragon bishop. Correct. Bishop f6. And now the set new for white is that on the recaptures. It's not good. Rook e4 suddenly run into this one, right? Which we call it a skewer. Knight e4 is losing on the spot, right? Which is not even working. So bishop e4 seems to be a very traditional way, very natural way to do it. But here it allows a very strong sacrifice. The thing that if you guys play this kind of variation, you should know it. Like to play. Which move now you can play in order to obtain a winning attack? This one is a very important idea need to be known in this line in particular, especially with a dragon bishop. Bishop here, king b1 would not do things. You can still be able to get better here by playing like here, for instance, you know, but then it will somehow slow down your attack. Take here is even wrong, since now you will simply lose your attacking bishop. Normally, you will never want to trade the bishop for a knight if you don't have any particular plan, isn't it? Well, I see this. Nice ideas. So he mentioned like here, right? e4 and rook e4. Interesting. But sadly, it is still lost into queen g5 checks. f4 to the queen, and see now, right? You will lose material. I think the better way is even here, you know? And then black is up a full bishop. So here, let's come back here, this one, right? Queen a2 seems fun, but funnily enough, we will get to a very, I think, tricky variation, which I will show right away. Bishop d5, exclamation mark. Queen a1, king d2. So your queen is being trapped here, right? Here, and now your rook is trapped. Just kind of funny. All of a sudden, you can't get out and you lose material next, right? Moreover, if you don't see the way to win right away, after the bishop trade, it is always, I think, unusual to go for that, since it will just take away most of your initiative. The best way to play here is mentioned by plenty of strong chatters. Rook b2, exclamation mark. A very typical way to sacrifice in this kind of variations. Here, right? Could be 4. And now, as you can see, right? This is literally over. He cannot be able to deal with any threats here. That's why somehow the best way to play for white, as the engine recommend, is queen c3, you know. But that is obviously equal to suicide. And even if he doesn't take the rook, it's still gonna be very dangerous. The knight is hanging, right? And if play rook e3, you got rook b6. And after that, I think he can feel free to resign. Pieces come out, his king is extremely weak, but here as well, if you want to as well, own card threats, which is very beautiful, right? You can also play queen b4 as well, which is also a very good move. Here I want to ask you a very simple questions that I think it should be kind of fun here to ask. What happens if white try something like, let's say, bishop d5? You want to bring back the bishop defense on b3. But now, this proves to be a decisive mistake. How can black finish the game? There is also a very famous tactics here that decides the game on the spot. I know. In fact, I was wrong. Myself. In fact, so I think here is win on the spot, you know. Looks beautiful, right? Looks beautiful. But if I king d2, it can be a thing here. So I don't know. I mean, I need to play slow down. I should slow down my play. Oh my gosh, it's so a shame. Damn, wrong speedrun. It's like a speedrun when you teach me, you know. That is so wrong. Actually, the way is bishop f5. Damn, I have so bad a chance. Okay, this is the way to play. I think I can see something still very beautiful though, but harder now. This is the threat, right? The bishop b3 is the way to do. Defend the pawn, right? And now queen b3 to exclamation mark. Will surely be working. You know. Here, this, and now that's the way. And you can see how strong the bishop pair is, right? But still, I mean, you can see here is an example to show you how strong the attack is. Well, my chart here did show that rook b1 allow king d2 and the king can run away, right? It should be much nicer if black play, I mean, if white play rook d2 here, you know, but actually still can run, right? You can play here right away though, Mr. Ideas. But I mean, these things I just show you that black has so many ways to go for the attack, right? For the attack, and white is defenseless against everything. In the game, what happened is bishop c4, which suddenly was the bishop, right? And then after that, just like some kind of, you know, simple conversion. One thing I must say here is that many people will attempt to take on c3 right away, right? But then this allows white to survive. And obviously, I think it's not what you want to see, right? That's why even when you're winning, be careful. Be careful. That's a lesson not only for you, but for me as well. Even when you're winning completely, make sure you don't allow something, you know, that may happen unexpectedly and it may ruin your win. You know what I mean? In the game, so here, and here. So queen c3 is best, guys. For sure, this is the best move, which is much easier. The only way to defend the king c1, but here, and this, right? Which is mid. Let's move. But instead, I went for something more juicy, rook b2, and I win the queen. He resigned to as well, so a nice game, right? A nice game. Now, I mean, I will need to go, so I can't play one more. But still, I think it's a nice game, right? I feel like we can be able to learn a lot from this game. I feel. So, for the game, I hope you understand the things. Any questions and any feedbacks about the evaluation, about the explanation? Do you understand me? So, I mean, we will slowly get to a higher level. But for me, this game, in fact, is like one of the most instructive games from the speedrun so far, right? I feel like you guys can learn a lot from this game, and there are some ideas here that is really typical for this variation, which I hope people can learn and also benefit from. Sure? Okay, hopefully you enjoy the video and hopefully you find it instructive. We will see you later in some other videos, and peace.